Rihanna just pulled the craziest move of the year and exposed Chris Brown for allegedly being in cahoots with Diddy. And girl, this is about to be the wildest thing you've heard. Unless you've been under a rock or something, then you probably already know that many celebs who are tied to Diddy are starting to get exposed, and Hollywood is in a state of hot panic right now over this. Well, an old lawsuit just popped up where Chris was alleged to have S.A'd a woman on a yacht outside Diddy's mansion, and there are now fresh rumors that Chris might have been at Diddy's freakoffs and done bad things to women. Word on the streets is that there is a tape going around of Chris and Diddy, and y'all need to be sat for this because it's about to be a hot mess. Alright, so as y'all know, Chris Brown has had more than his share of legal issues. Honestly, it's hard to ignore that. While he's a seriously talented singer and dancer, his controversies really overshadow that talent. One thing he's especially infamous for is his awful attitude and disrespect towards women. I mean, we all remember the drama with Rihanna back in 2009. To refresh your memory, Chris and Rihanna were in his car the night before the 2009 Grammys, and they got into a heated argument that escalated quickly. He ended up hurting her and even pushed her out of the car onto the street. Interestingly, in this 2017 documentary, he claimed that Rihanna was the one who threw the first punch after she found out that he had cheated on her. He made some pretty wild assertions to try and shift the narrative, but it doesn't change the fact that he put paws on her and left her with bruises and serious injuries. The situation ended up in court where he received a sentence of 5 years probation, a year of counseling, and 6 months of community service. Since then, his career has really taken a hit because fans have pretty much canceled him. Sure, he's still doing well, but we both know he would have reached much greater heights without this scandal. But hey, that's the price he has to pay for his actions. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only time Chris found himself in hot water. After he split with Rihanna, he began dating Karrueche, and it turned out to be a similar story to his relationship with Rihanna. In 2017, Karrueche filed court documents seeking a restraining order against Chris, with whom she had just ended things. In those documents, she made some pretty shocking allegations that revealed he was still showing the violent behavior he showed back in 2009. She claimed that he had punched her in the stomach and even pushed her down a flight of stairs a couple of years before she filed for the restraining order. But at that time, she chose not to report it because he was still on probation from the Rihanna incident, which would have landed him in serious legal trouble. Karrueche also revealed that Chris had to unalive her, saying if he couldn't have her, then no one else could. That's just an incredibly toxic situation, and I'm really glad she managed to get out when she did. However, even after their breakup, Chris continued to harass and intimidate her and her friends, prompting her to secure a restraining order against him. Following all of this, Chris attempted to adopt a good guy persona, trying to prove that he was a changed man. For the most part, he avoided major legal issues, but the truth is, people weren't able to overlook the terrible things he's done, and many fans have kept him canceled. He's still making music, but he's something of an outcast now. Is he still successful? Sure he is, but he sure doesn't have the same influence he once had, and he should be way more successful than he currently is. I'm talking Drake level of success. Anyway, like I mentioned, he played the good boy card for a bit, but it didn't last long because he seems to have a particular issue with women. In 2016, he was investigated for hitting a woman and snatching her phone when she tried to take his picture in a Las Vegas hotel. Then in 2019, he was detained in Paris after facing accusations of S.A'd a woman in a hotel. Both Chris and his team denied the allegations, claiming he was being targeted. In 2021, he was under investigation again for allegedly hitting a woman in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles. According to TMZ, the anonymous victim claimed Chris smacked her so hard that her weave fell out. Like seriously, do you know how hard it is to hit someone for their weave to come off? Thankfully, she wasn't injured, but somehow Chris managed to walk away without being arrested. So it's pretty clear that Chris Brown doesn't have respect for women, and I think it's safe to say he's going to stay canceled for a long time. In 2022, he got sued again by yet another victim who claims he allegedly S.A'd her in 2020. Court documents filed on January 27, 2022 revealed that Chris Brown invited a woman to a yacht at Diddy's Miami Beach home on December 30th, 2020. Child, why does Diddy's name always come up in situations like this? It's a wonder that he managed to get away with his behavior for so long. Anyways, the woman referred to as Jane Doe in the documents is a musician, model, dancer, and choreographer. She was invited to the party while on FaceTime with a friend when Chris snatched the phone and personally invited her to join him on the yacht. Once she arrived, he offered her a drink and they started chatting. Pretty normal, right? Well, things took a dark turn when she began to feel disoriented and unstable, falling in and out of sleep, leading her to suspect her drink had been spiked. She alleged that Chris then took her to a bedroom while she was in this foggy state, closed the door, and despite her protests, kissed her and allegedly S.A'd her. As if that wasn't disturbing enough, he reached out to her the following day as if nothing had happened, urging her to take an emergency contraceptive, which she did. She sued Chris Brown for $20 million in damages, citing severe emotional distress. And before anyone asks why she didn't report it at the time, let's remember that it takes a lot of strength and courage for victims to come forward, especially against a high-profile celebrity. Her attorneys also claimed that she didn't report it immediately because she was a medical student and felt embarrassed about the situation. To nobody's surprise, Chris denied the allegations. He took to his Instagram stories and posted a picture of him wearing a pile of caps, basically implying that the case was all cap. He also wrote on his Instagram, "I hope y'all see the pattern of cap. Whenever I'm releasing new music or projects, they try to pull some real BS." The case has been pending since 2022, but given the fresh allegations against Diddy, fans started to wonder if he could have had something to do with the S.A'd case, especially because spiking drinks seems to be Diddy's typical MO. However, the victim recently had her lawyers clarify that even though the alleged incident took place at Diddy's party, Diddy was not involved and had nothing to do with what Chris allegedly did to her. However, fans are skeptical about this, and there are speculations that she might have been bought off by Diddy and his team, with fans tossing around a wild theory that she might have been a part of a freak-off. There have also been reports and rumors that Diddy and other people involved in his freak-offs have allegedly been buying off victims, and fans are wondering if that's what happened here. Plus, given how Chris Brown treats women, it's not exactly wild to imagine that he might have allegedly participated in freak-offs. Chris is known to have been quite close to Diddy, and he attended several parties. Fans are starting to put two and two together, and let me say, the math is starting to match. Fans commented, "No surprise after what he did to Rihanna. I hope we see more arrests. Combs didn't work alone, and everyone needs to be held accountable. How sick do you have to be to someone and then do stuff to them and film it? Beyond degenerate. Anyone who would Rihanna is always garbage in my view." And let's not act shocked. This is Chris Brown. If anyone would have been in with Diddy's freak-off parties, it would be Chris Brown. Anywho, I want to know how you guys feel about this, so drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.